Hopefully everybody can hear me. I'm waiting to see my producer give me a thumbs up before I continue because I don't want you guys to miss any of this episode. So as soon as I get the word, I'll continue on. Again, I do apologize for the mic issues, but it looks like everything possibly is good right now. I'm waiting here to get confirmation, and I'm not getting confirmation. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed, and hopefully you guys can hear me. Welcome to Slat Chat Live. I am your host, Terry Dunning. I do have a lot to talk about, and I got to run to the dispensary as soon as I'm done. So I won't keep you guys long. Let's get started. First of all, I'd like to cover the Logan, his request for a title shot. I'm checking the chats right now. It don't look like I'm having any issues. If I am, please let me know. But Logan is requesting to have a title shot. Logan, man, I got nothing against you, nothing bad to say about you. But I would say that if you have this chance and this opportunity to take another match before going against Ron, I would for sure do it. Okay, I'm seeing that my mic's working now. Thank you. I really appreciate you, man. Um, but back to what I was saying. If you have this opportunity to take another match, definitely do it because I know Vern Cathy was confident. He felt he was ready. And even Allen, he thought he was ready and his confidence was there. And we seen what happened to both of them when they went against Ron. They just weren't ready. This is a sport where experience definitely does pay off. And if you haven't gotten, I'd say 15, 20 matches, and you're going against somebody like a Damian DeBell or Wolverine, I don't care what your confidence is at. Your performance is not going to be there that night. Not against these guys. These guys are legends. So again, Logan, this is not to knock you, my man. But if you have that opportunity to take another match, definitely do it because you are a potential down the road. But if you were to go against Ron today, I don't think you would last. And I'm going to get to the last person he went to because some people say that was a great match and stuff. And I'm talking about Allen. That was not a great match, in my opinion. I've been covering the sport for a while, but I'm entitled to have my opinion. Doesn't mean it's correct. But every time Allen got slapped, he would flinch and he would say, woo, woo. And, like he did a good job. He did do a good job in one way because he survived a slap from Wolverine, but he fucking flinched. And for this guy to be crying about not getting another title shot, shame on him, man. Your performance was, it was poor. It was a poor performance. And if you're bragging that was the best match and stuff, I get Dana White saying it was the best match of the year. And I'm happy Ron got that bonus because he performed. But that was not the best match I've seen in Power Slap all year. Not on Allen's performance, anyways. So again, Allen, when you're begging for a rematch for the title, man, I'll say it straight up. You're just not on his level. I know Ron will take anybody and he'll accept the match. And I've talked to him and he said, what is a bad match? Because to Ron, he'll take anybody. If you're paying that man, you put any face you want in front of him and he'll slap the shit out of him. But to me, I would say, Logan, man, be patient, my friend. Be patient. Take this next match, knock Allen out, and then be prepared to go in a battle of your life. Because Ron is no joke. And again, look at everybody, talk to the people he's gone against. And they will tell you, man, they thought they had the confidence and were prepared to, and they were not. Now, I do want to cover something else about this Prep Allen, man. I don't like the guy. I didn't like him from the first time I talked to him. And I'm going to tell you a little something about him, why I don't like him personally. I do interviews. I interview fighters and stuff, and I like to surprise people. Allen was the first one to reach out and after I did an interview and tell me I had to give him in advance every question I was going to ask him before he would come on my podcast. I had debated and I said, okay, it's not about me. I like to cover the sport and everybody does it. So I'm going to go ahead and submit my questions to him, and I did. But after that, I said I'd never interview Allen again. To me, he's just too preppy. Anybody that needs to know what they're going to be asked for an interview when we're trying to promote the sport, it just got something to hide. I don't know, I heard him making gay jokes back and forth, talking about transgender and shit. I don't know what he's trying to hide, but he definitely had something to hide when he wanted to know what I wanted to ask before I brought him on. That's why I don't like Allen personally. He's just too preppy for me. Let me get this microphone closer. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I don't want to give this microphone a blowjob, but I definitely want to make sure my audio is coming in loud. Let me get a sip of drink here. You all see the water in the background. What you don't see below is my beer here. So let me get a sip of that to wet my whistle. Next up that I do want to cover, though, is I seen on another platform they were talking about how people are siding with Ron. A lot of people didn't like this match, Wolverine against the Crazy Hawaiian stuff. For right now, I do like this match. Legend against Legend is the best they can offer Ron because there's nobody else that's really got the experience. I like this match, but going back to how people are siding with Ron, I would have to ask one simple question: what the fuck took so long? I've seen people shit on Ron since he went to Power Slap. Everybody's been talking about, oh, he's this, he's got this beard to hide, he shaved his beard. Ron isn't hiding from anybody. The fact that it's taken this long for people to start, showing support for him is surprising to me because the two people that are best in the sport, in my opinion, and proven, are Damian DeBell and Ron Wolverine Beta. And they do not get the promotion they should. And let's be real here. Power Slap has the power to promote the people they want. They can make a star out of anybody. They're trying to with Zakir and all these people that ain't worth a fuck. They could be promoting people like Damian DeBell and Wolverine, but they're not. Why? My opinion is they know that those people came from another promotion and they're determined to take them belts from Damian DeBell and Wolverine. And every time they throw somebody at them, it just doesn't work out. That's my opinion. But I would ask Power Slap, why haven't you promoted Wolverine and Damian DeBell much more? These guys are legends already, and they're still competing. They can't be beat no matter who you throw at them. Why haven't we promoted guys like this? And the fact that people are just now starting to follow them, that's great. Because Ron's not a social media guy. I know Ron for a couple years now. He's very kind of shy, humble. He stays to himself and his family. So the fact that fans are starting to follow him, I'm very happy for. I would question what took so long, and then my answer would be Power Slap didn't promote these guys. They did not give these guys a chance. They did not push them, and they could have. We've seen Power Slap and Dana White make stars out of a turd. And the fact that they didn't push these guys, shame on them. These guys, any credit they do get and any following they do get, we can say they've done it themselves. Now, I do want to move on to another topic here. The next one I want to talk about, and now this is not confirmed. I will say that I have seen Wes Mena has said he's locked in for Power Slap in March. I would love to see Wes Mena. I think Wes Mena, given time, is definitely going to be great for this sport. He's definitely proven himself, although he's had a few losses. That goes to play with experience. But I believe that Wes Mena and Pono might be in the works. I look at who could be competing against him, and the best option out there is the guy that's ranked right below him, Pono. And this is a real few people. I will say this. I have spoken to people that have talked to me and told me there is a real feud, but it's not what you guys know in public. This person has not told me what the real feud is, so I can't reveal it to you because I don't know, but I will say it's something that's not publicly out there, but there is some heat between these guys. And I would love to see both these go at it, not just for the resolve their heat, but this would be a great match for the sport, man. Wes Mena he's definitely proven himself, and Pono, he's a showman. I don't care unless Pono loses 15 times. I think Pono will be around a long time. Even if it's not competing, he's just a showman. He's great for the sport. He's constantly promoting the sport. So I would love to see these two guys go at it, and I hope that's the match that's in the works for Wes in March, although I cannot confirm it, not just yet. Now, another topic I want to move on. Again, people, I do want to get to dispensary here soon. I've been working on this show all day. But Media Week is coming up over in the Middle East. I can say that I'm almost 100% certain there is an event taking place in February. I believe it was the 13th, Friday, February 13th. Don't quote me on that date. I have the information out there. But I have talked to people who are already in Saudi Arabia training. I have talked to people who have been requested to come there for training. And I do know that a media week is taking place next around that time frame. So the fact that they haven't announced it yet does leave me wondering, are they pre-recording this for a later release? Because I know there's other events taking place that night. I believe the PFL events taking place and stuff. And this is a last minute put together from what I'm hearing. So it leads me to wonder, will they pre-record this for a later release? But we all have seen that people are prepping and getting ready to go over there. And I can confirm that there's at least one person that's supposedly in Saudi Arabia right now training and getting ready for this event. And I have talked to other people that said there is a media week coming up and they will be there. So that's what I can tell you about the February event. When will it be streamed online? I do not know. That's very interesting, and I'm waiting to find out myself. As I find out, you guys know I will drop the information to you guys. Um, Next thing I do want to cover. I'm trying to get everything out, guys. I do know I had some issues at the beginning, but I have heard of a show coming out called The Floor, and I don't want to reveal too much at all on this. This is still new information, but it's called The Floor, and one of the hosts is Rob Lowe. And I can say this so much: it's rumored that some very important people, some high profiles in this sport, have been contacted to make an appearance on this show. I do not want to say which names I've heard yet, and I haven't even confirmed with these people because I do not want to put them on the spot and ruin the opportunity that they have coming. But there is a show coming out, maybe already be in the works. I don't watch much TV, called The Floor with Rob Lowe, and there has been some high-profile names in slap fighting that have been contacted. Now, the next one I want to cover, and I want to play a clip first. Let me go ahead and bring this clip up. And I'm going to stream the clip, and then I'm going to respond to it.
Show covering slap fighting, really 95% power slap because we don't support some of those other organizations and the weird shit that they do. Uh,
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, nutsack. Did you really just say that on your platform? I want to cover a couple things on that statement. First of all, you guys claim to be a news source for this sport, and you have just said publicly that you do not pay attention to 95% of the platform promotions. Are you fucking kidding me? How can you credibly be considered a news source for this sport and go public and say you don't even pay attention to the other promotions, that you only pay attention to Power Slap? Shouldn't you be called Power Slap News? And another thing I'd like to point out, while you may eliminate 95% of those promotions, those people and those other 95% of those promotions support your platform. Do you think that was fair to say they do weird shit? You do weird shit. You look like my nutsack on a hot, sweaty day, dude. You look fucking weird, but they still support you. And you sit there and say publicly, you don't support 95% of these promotions because they do weird shit. Man, shame on you, dude. Shame on you to claim to be covering this fucking sport and not include 95% of the promotions. How do you come up with 95% is beyond me to begin with, because I did the math according to the major promotions out there, and you couldn't exactly come up with 95% anyways. It would have been 92. But I'm going to go ahead and just say this. If you are not covering 95% of those platforms, hopefully those 95% of the people in the platforms, or 100% of those people in those platforms, don't follow you anymore and don't support you. Shame on you for that, man. And I'd like to also point out one other fact. Now, you say weird shit in other promotions, but I did my homework, and I can say this, that per event, Slap Fight Championship and Punisher Slap Fight combined have less fouls per event than Power Slap. So I would ask you there, nutsack, what weird shit are you talking about that you don't pay attention to 95% of the other promotions? That's all I got to say about that. I do want to cover two other things that I got to get to the dispensary. The next thing I'd like to cover, let me go ahead and share my screen here because this is important. There's two things here real quick. I would like to mention our person of the week. This is important. Dynamite Chris has really stood out. If you don't know who Dynamite Chris is, he's a champion over at Punisher Slap Fight. But this guy has gotten massive in the past few weeks. Let me get my picture up there so you guys can see my ugly frame too. Oh, hold on. I don't think I can at the same time. Anyways, this guy has gotten massive in the past few weeks, and he has a match coming up on February 28th. If you ain't following Chris by now, you need to be. I will put his information up on my platform so you guys can go follow him. But you need to be following this guy. He's definitely making a statement. It would not surprise me if we don't see him in Power Slap this year. With that said, I do want to go ahead and cover one other thing, and I'll let you guys get going. You know, when I started covering this sport, there was one thing I stressed about covering, and that's the death of a fighter. This past week, we did lose somebody I interviewed. She was a really cool person. I don't know her personally, but I knew she had some mental issues, if you will. And when speaking to her, I never thought it would have led to what it did. I want to tell everyone who's watching this platform, I get dings 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock, and I read every one. I may not respond, but I read every fucking message that comes in all night long. I get them from South Africa, the UK, and I read them, and it gives me, in the morning, I will get up and respond to those people throughout the day. If you have any time in your life, you need to reach out to somebody, people. This goes to the fighters mostly, but even the fans, but to the fighters, because I know there's people that have mental issues in the sport. If you need to reach out to somebody, I am here no matter what hour. I don't give a fuck what I'm doing. I will stop. I could be in the middle of sleeping or getting a blowjob. I could be partying or fucking praying. It does not matter. I will stop if I ever knew it come to that for you guys. And I want to make sure I put that out there. It's sad to say, but we did lose one of the first female competitors in Brit Slap this week, and that was Crazy Maisie Smith. She will be missed. I won't get into detail, but people, again, mental health is real. I don't really consider myself to have one, so it's hard for me to understand, but I do have an ear, and you guys know that. I'll listen to every one of you guys. If you need somebody to talk to, I'm here for you. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and bounce to the dispensary. You guys have a kick-ass night, man. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.
Joe's girl's got a belly that Joe's Wang moves. He's the king of the flash, yeah, he's got the groove. Sits in his chair, puffing clouds to the moon. His laugh's like thunder, you can hear it boom. Chunky Terry's got the mic, watch him go. Lighten up the truth while smoke billows slow. Making competition look dumb on the show. Chunky Terry's groove, baby, don't you know? Hell dig through the dirt, find the gold in the grime. He's the Sherlock of podcast.